Matt, what a great golf day.
Fantastic. Our guys had a great time being out here. You know, we're supporting a great cause. So our guys had a lot of fun. We hit the ball well. So hopefully we'll see what happens tonight.
Well, it's great to be out here, and the weather was great, and the golf was a lot of fun, and people were having a good time. And it really comes down to the participants, really. And we're here to help out and do the best we can. And with all the people, it was a great crowd. 130, 140 golfers out here, and we're here to have a great night too.
It was great. I can't believe the turnout. The day was just beautiful. We had a good number of golfers from all strata of life here in Ontario, and they're all supporting a really good cause, which is great, and I'm very thankful for that. Everybody who has an acronym was here, which is great. I'm so happy.
Well, Gooch, we're there for you. We got to find a cure for this. That's the biggest thing.
Oh, it's an honor to be here. Two great organizations, Shoot for a Cure, Play It Cool. Wonderful job you're doing on research, education, making a big difference.
Another great event. I'm really sorry I couldn't be here to enjoy the golf, but a wonderful dinner, wonderful auction, raised a lot of good money for CSRO tonight, and there was a very good feeling in this room.
It's one of those charities where you can see exactly where the progress is coming, and to know that there's a group like this that is really working to try to find an end to spinal injuries is very important, not just to youngsters who are just starting a game, but to people as they go through. And a lot of families suffer from people with spinal injuries, and if there's a way that we can sort of put an end to it, it'd be fabulous. Now with the advent of Play It Cool, which is part of CSRO as well, you know, it's really going through the generations, and we're trying to start with those kids playing hockey or playing any sport to think about what they're doing, to be more aware of their situation, that don't put them at risk for spinal injuries. And you can see it developing, and you start to see the groundswell of support. It's really important.
You know, working for the NHLPA, we get to work with a lot of our members, and it's important to know that those guys care about this, care about Shoot for a Cure, and care about, you know, hopefully none of them have to get hurt, and none of them go into something like that and need to have that kind of medical research. But, you know, they're excited that we're out here supporting you guys, and good things will come of it.
Like the women's game, there's no intentional body checking, but there is body contact. And the important thing is education and awareness. And the players need to recognize that their safety is important, but the safety of the opponent is also important. You can't play the game alone. You need another team. There are other people just like you. And the more education we do, the more awareness, teaching how to give a check, how to take a check, how to play it safe. No checking from behind. All those are so important to the game, and educating the players, the parents, and everyone in the game is so key to the success and keeping the game safe.
I think we got to make some changes, make some moves to make it a more attractive to all our people in Canada, young people who can play, not only boys but the young women as well, the fastest growing part of the game today. And you and I have discussed this many times. There's some issues, and violence is an issue, for sure. Cost is an issue. Respect is an issue. And I think with the people that you are getting on board, the NHL, NHLPA, I know you're working with many different groups, I think we're going to make some headway.
Cool, of course, is a prevention program that's been developed over the last 4 or 5 years. We've talked about it a lot. It's now launching in August. Tell us a little bit about the importance of prevention. We talk about a cure. One of the ways of curing something is preventing in the first place.
And I think that's the key. You've got to teach the youngsters to be careful, to be aware of their situation. We're starting to see it now in minor hockey. We've seen the stop sign on the back of the jersey. But it's all about learning where you can prevent. And I think that's the key, too, is if you know where you can go to avoid or how to avoid those situations, that's the first step. And you just have to be aware of your surroundings, aware of what's going on, and I think that is that very first step.
Education is first and foremost. I mean, it starts at the grassroots level and getting kids and their parents educated on preventing these injuries, putting yourselves in the right spot when you're on the ice, and making sure you're aware of your surroundings and aware of respecting the players that you play with, that if you see his back, don't put him through the end boards. You know, it's important that the kids learn the respect of the game at an early level. And if we can get those kids educated in that, we're going to prevent a lot of injuries.
I think it's very important to educate everybody, and I think that's what we're all here for. And we don't want to see anybody get hurt. And I think some of the rules have to be changed in all sports, not only in the game of hockey. Is that there's too much, the headshots. There's too much hitting from behind. The kids are getting hurt and they're not seeing it, and that's what really starts it. So I think there's got to be some rule changes to make it a lot safer for everybody.
As you know, the NHLPA members are very concerned with this issue, and it should be at the forefront of all players' mind when they're playing. And so the partnership with Shoot for a Cure and the NHLPA has been great, getting players to be the mentors for younger kids and knowing that and learning that they don't have to always finish their check the way players once did back in the day. Playing safe, being educated, and I think just being ahead of the curve and hopefully, preventing some serious injuries.
Prevention is sort of the mother of invention. If you don't try to prevent, then all you're doing is reacting to everybody who has an injury. If you can prevent the injury, then that's 9 parts of the equation. Education and awareness lead to prevention. Education plus awareness equals prevention. It's as simple as that.
I think they have to take a little more responsibility. You look at the top, all the injuries, the guys are headhunting for some reason. I think they have to take the headshots out of the NHL. And then the younger players, everybody sees that. They got to get respect for each other again back in the game. And when you're close to the boards, don't hammer the guys right through. But anyways, it's a learning curve. I hope they get it straightened out because it's important for the young players to play hard and enjoy the game.
And in sports, there is a risk. Of course, there's a risk, but minimizing the risk is our job. And hopefully someday there will be a cure. There's a lot of research being done, a lot of great things being done in the research field, but prevention is the main thing. We have had some spinal injuries. Fortunately, we've not had the traumatic one yet, and hopefully we won't. But, the prevention we feel is making a difference. We know these two organizations are making a difference, and we congratulate you and thank you so much for everything you're doing.
So much needs to be done. There's a lot of old school thinking around, and it's not going to be an easy chore, but we're getting the right people behind the program. We want to make this game attractive to all Canadians. We want to continue to be a hockey power in the world, and if we don't make some changes, 20 years from now, Gary, I'm very concerned about where we will be as a hockey power in the world. We can learn from what is being done in some European countries, and I congratulate you and your group for what you're doing. It's a monumental task you're taking on, but worthwhile. This is our game. We know we've gone too long with the status quo, I believe. It's time to make some positive changes to continue to make it the greatest game in the world and to keep us at the top of the podium.
Well, education is one thing, and you're always there to help us. Ron Ellis, thank you very much. Thanks for being here today. And, of course, we'll be doing lots of fun things together to help make the game safe. Right here with Gooch on the Edge, Ron Ellis, play it cool.